just having a little bit of a move around. It's been quite busy for November, so we're going to have a look in. Still had a few more part exchanges coming through. We're going to have a look in a few new vans that have come through, a few different layouts, different weights, different prices, and then a couple of tips along the way as usual. So a little GT70 Rimini fixed single beds, 15,495 is it? So this is one that's recently come in. Quite lightweight on this one, so again, sort of fixed beds. If you're looking for a fixed bed van, about 1,500 kilos you're going to be able to, or need to be able to tow, and that should open the market up. There'll be a few then that are too heavy, a few that aren't sort of able to do, but it should give you a good range of vans. So we're going to have a quick look at a few of them. So this has got single beds, and I've said it before, single beds can be seasonal, where they sort of are quite busy and then they slow back down again. So it's always a funny seller, should I say. But this is nice because it's got the big fridge freeze, it's got a nice washroom at the back, a nice kitchen area, and then longer seats at the front. So this gives you, without the sort of gas locker in the front locker on the Baileys, it gives you a little bit more usable space as such. And again, you've still got a little pull-out table at the front, so you sort of get all the benefits of not having the locker in, but you don't lose not having that little table and chest of drawers, etc. at the front. So it works quite well, that one. So this is a nice one. Let's say 1431 kilograms this one. A couple of new ones. So we've had a nice little two berth, a little lighter weight two berth that we're going to come to, and a nice big twin axle as well. So if you're thinking about putting a van on a site and leaving it, then we've got a nice one to actually sort of leave onto a site. So as I say, we're moving stuff around at the minute, so we've got to try and, it's like a treasure hunt now of where it actually is on the new ones that have just come in. So another Rimini. So this is an older version of the one that we just looked in, so another single bed, but just a little bit older. This is a 2014, and very similar. Not got the big fridge freezer in this one, but again, the single beds, washroom at the back, and again, similar sort of front, but again, just a different upholstery. So this has just come in, and this will be going up for sale shortly. It's got a mover fitted on this one as well. And then on last week we were looking at actually draining the caravan down and sort of using the flow kit. So if you didn't see that, hopefully Isabel will be able to find that video and get it popping up now. If you don't want to go to the expense of paying, it's about 250 quid for that flow kit, but it was very good because you could fit it into the pipe work, just leave it there and literally press the button on and off to sort of drain the system down. So if you don't want to go to those expenses, as we're walking around, I'm going to give you a couple of different ideas of how to actually do a similar job without spending a load of money. So that's just come in. We've got a little classic duet, nice little two berth that's there that they're pushing around, and I should really be helping. It's nice just to watch sometimes. So that's just come in, and then the other one is a nice big twin axle, so we're going to try and find that if we can, which is over on that back corner.
It's like musical caravans in here today.
So that's a nice little two berth. We'll come back to have a look at that in a moment. So that's a lighter weight two berth.
It didn't look that light.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. Not on the ground one. But a special edition, that one. So make sure I'm getting the right van here. So this is 18,995. This has just come in. This has got the island bed at the back. So similar. So this is the Swift Elegance 650. So similar sort of lines as the best car. So you get the Korean worktop, the nicer sort of unit. The better cars, I'm struggling to sort of think what extras. Yeah, I'm struggling to think of what extras the best cars really had.
I was going to say, it looks like a best car in here, doesn't it?
Beyond, yeah. You've obviously got electric roof lights. Not a lot of difference. There's just going to be silly bits and bobs, but the elegances, you couldn't really put an awful lot more on them. You've got the Aldi central heating, you've got sort of all of the different speakers through. I don't know whether you've got speakers in the bathroom on the Elegance. So sometimes on the better cars, they would put the speakers, they're in the bedroom, so you have got them sort of either side in the bedroom. And I don't know whether on this layout the better car did put the speakers in the bathroom.
I'm sure I'd went in the bathroom and it hadn't.
Yeah, I don't think they did. I
think it was just the end bathrooms, wasn't it, that they tended to do it on?
Yeah, sort of put the speakers then back there. So let us know in the comments, and I should know really. We have got a better car next door, so we might just have a quick compare of what the differences are. But not a huge amount. Mainly would have been sort of upholstery, the better car name, and then a few little tweaks and bits and pieces here and there. As I say, you've sort of got all the Caravan worktops, the Aldi central heating, the big fridge freezer. So there's not a huge amount more that you could have obviously had. Obviously, as I said, the roof lights in the better cars were electric, which sometimes that's not the be all and end all. It might be that actually I prefer to have them manually if I've got my battery disconnected.
Didn't you say that some of them these days weren't electric?
Yeah, so some in the newer better cars, they've got one electric one and not both. More so over the bed, I think they put the electric one because it's a difficult area to sort of get to. But not huge amounts of differences. 18995 2017 this one, so this is a really good layout, a really good one to sort of put onto a site. But again, it's not the 8 foot wide, so it's not too big to actually tow around. And then mentioning sort of there about the batteries, a good time to make sure that your leisure battery is in a good condition. Obviously next week the weather is set to go quite a lot colder, so if your battery is already quite low, the colder weather, even without sort of anything on the anything sort of being connected or attached to the battery, the colder weather will discharge that battery. So something that you've got to bear in mind is that it's a good time to either take the leisure battery off, put it into the garage and keep it on a little trickle charger, or make sure, if you need to keep it on the Caravan, make sure it is charged up well. Again, last week we didn't really get a huge amount of sunshine, so if you've got solar panels and what have you, it's not going to have kept that leisure battery charged up as much as normal. So a good time as we now get into the winter, start thinking about your battery, and every sort of 2 or 3 weeks, month at the most, trying to keep that battery trickle charged and keep it up to sort of the power that it should be. So this is
the same with the motorhome, because you've had a customer with a motor, haven't you?
Yeah,
and the
same.
control unit's draining the battery, so really it needs a solar panel, doesn't it?
Yeah. So again, it's worse on the motorhome because you've got the habitation sort of leisure battery, but you've also got your vehicle battery. So again, keeping that sort of running and charged. And again, for your motorhome, it's best to give it a good proper run out and actually drive it round and make sure that it's sort of up. So this is the better car version. Now this is 2018 as well, so you can see.
Same year then, is it?
Same year.
I don't know what the difference is apart from the
upholstery.
That's it though, isn't
the
it?
electric sunroof, as I say. And yeah, that's Caravan worktop still, nice big fridge freezer still. So yeah, it's not huge amounts of differences really. I suppose it's just one of those where you can sort of go, well, this is a better car.
See, this has got speakers in the washroom but not in the bedroom,
yeah,
whereas that one has got speakers in the bedroom and not in the washroom.
At the back, yeah, it's just the location of the speakers is at the back, yeah. So yeah, a difficult one. This is £1,000 more than the Elegance.
Is it heavier as well, or?
Not a huge amount, no, both about 2 tonnish. That might be about 1900. Let me just double check. So yeah, same sort of weight, not any difference on the weight. So I think again it's just sort of, if you go, I like the better car, I like the sort of better car name, it is just that little bit different. So again, it's just personal preference, isn't it really? But not a lot of difference between the Elegance and the better car. As they got newer, things slightly changed, so they did start to put a little bit more onto the better cars, but not huge amounts from the sort of, and again the model range is changed. So Very, very personal sort of preference really. Try and have a look in that little tuber. There's some legs down in that one now. So this is going from one extreme to the other, from sort of a nice big one that you can put onto a site. And again, if you're thinking about putting a caravan onto a site, my suggestion would be go for as big as you possibly can. It's pointless in putting a little two berth like this onto a permanent pitch and leaving it sighted. The whole idea for leaving something sighted is that you've sort of got a static effectively, so you've got as big a caravan as you can possibly have stored onto a pitch. And that is my idea of sort of, if you're going to go for a static pitch, go for as big as you possibly can. Don't sort of put a little two berth like this on, because it's a bit of a waste of the actual pitch. So this is just coming, it's going to be about $13,995. It's got a load of extras with this. I'm just taking up the carpet so that we don't get them all dirty. This weather again now, again, if you've got your caravan in storage, a good idea to take your carpets up. And again, that's something that on Sunday's video we're gonna be looking at. Something, the big debate. It's not a maths debate. It's a caravan debate. So we'll be having a look at that on Sunday. But lovely little two berth this. I say $13,995, 2018. Let's just double check on the weight, and this was a special edition. So $12.25 maximum. So a really nice one for towing around if you've got a smaller car, electric car. This is going to be a good little van for you. And as I say, it's got a load of extras. So there's awnings with it, porch awnings, air awnings. So a good little van. As I say, on Sunday, I think it was Friday's video actually, wasn't it? Or was it Sunday's video last week? We were talking about making sure the system was drained down and using the newer flow system. Something that you can do is actually blow down. You've got a couple of ways that you can do it. You can either blow down the shower hose. So you open your drain up valve, you open all your taps or close your taps to begin with, and then on your shower pipe, make sure the tap is in the open position, otherwise you're just going to be blowing against the pipe. But you can literally then blow through the system. So I just need to open the drain off valve, but a cheated way. So if you don't sort of want to go for the expense of the drain off valve is open.
Right.
I've just not got enough blow. I'm not blowing it enough.
I can hear it bubbling in that pipe.
So let me swap to the cold. And then again we close that one, make sure the kitchen tap is then open. So again we're on the cold on the shower tap, so we'll do that one. So the drain off valve is actually open on this, and we travelled with the drain off valve open. You want hot now?
Yeah.
So it's not going to be as good as sort of using the flow system, but something that you can do is obviously all the vans have got a shower. So on your shower hose you can just blow through, and that will hopefully any last little bits of water that are in the system just clear that system through. So good sort of cheaper way. The other way is obviously you can make your own little flow kit that goes onto the outside, and I find I will find our little video and I'll get the link and I'll pop it up where we made our own flow kit for the outside of the caravan, and then did the system. And again, it was a lot of sort of mucking about in and out, in and out, in and out. So the internal flow kit worked really, really well because it was just a lot easier when you're lazy, but a cheaper alternative. So I'll try and find that video and I'll get that.
It's not bad if there are two of you, because one could stay out and one could stay in, but otherwise you're in and out and out.
Yeah, it's a bit of a pain. So that flow kit was quite good. And again, we might look at some point trying to make our own flow kit that we could fit inside the caravan, and then you could just put your tyre inflator inside the fan, connect that up, and then blow through the system. So our own sort of, somebody said about making their own Heath Robinson kit, but they'd actually start at sort of one of the probably the shower pipe, because that's normally the highest one in the system, and in theory it should blow it all back through, whereas the flow kit, you're actually blowing the water up the system and hoping that it can come through. So again, it might not necessarily be that you've cleared all the pipe work, so something on that shower tap blowing back through would be a good idea. So it might be that we try and make, again, what you could potentially do is get shower hoses. You can get dead cheap, and the fittings are all the same, and you could cut the end off the shower pipe, put in a little tyre valve, and then blow up the system from this side, and that will then blow everything back through. But ideally you could do with doing sort of every single tap, and the problem with these taps is you can't really get anything on there to blow back through, so it's a bit of a tricky one. So just trying to figure out how to actually blow those taps through, because it's those taps that you're trying to clear the water from, because they're sort of 100 odd quid each, and the expensive ones to replace. If you've got the older type, or a normal sort of type tap that you can actually just put your mouth around the spout and blow back through, that will do the job as well, but you can't do that on those unless you've got a really big mouth. So,
are the fittings different from a household tap then on these caravan taps?
These are push fits. So normally on a household tap you've got sort of a 1/2 inch screw type fitting.
It'd make life a lot easier if it was just the same as a household tap, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but again, then it's all extra weight, isn't it? So it's all designed to be nice and light, and supposedly nice quick push fit connections to swap them over quickly. That is never actually the way. So yeah, funny one. As I say, Sunday we're going for the big debate, so don't miss Sunday's video. We're going to have a look through on Sunday's video a few more. I think that's the main couple that have come in. We've still been selling, to be fair, so I'm hoping that this weather stays okay. But as I say, this next week the weather is going to get lower and colder, so we need to make sure that battery is in a good position. Make sure that water system is drained through, because we've got some frosts coming. And then, as I say, on Sunday we'll have a look at a little debate that we've got coming up. So we'll see you then. Thanks for watching. I'm Mark at the Caravan Place, and we will see you on Sunday.